What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up and Chat. My name is BJ Mathews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, as well as Spotify, Iheartradio, TikTok, Twitter, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Get all of our updated information, you know what I'm saying? Instagram, B Jizzle, BJ IZZLE. My co-host, Rick Masters, Rick Masters 23. Follow us on Instagram at _the Pull Up _. Hit that notification bell, buy the subscribe button on our YouTube page to get all of our updated content, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it popping. All right, check it out. New video release, you know what I'm saying? First, let me say this. Everything that we do at the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, we try to keep it 100 for y'all. We want to make sure it's authentic, right? We want to make sure that it's 100% real. Yes, we're going to get certain things wrong, but based off our experience and us staying in the game for X amount of years, me and my co-host, Rick Masters, have a lot of experience when it comes to basketball, right? But yes, we are not always, we're not perfect in everything that we do, but we try to give the best, honest analysis no matter who the player is, whether we like them or not. We're going to give you guys the real thing, so we definitely appreciate all the subscribers and people following us. We're going to get into the situation pertaining to Kobe Bryant and LeBron James back in the 2008 Olympics, you know what I'm saying? So let's get it popping. All right, look. Let's get a little bit of a background. There was a story that came out last week of a situation pertaining to Kobe Bryant and LeBron James on the 2008 Olympic gold team in Beijing, the medal games, right? So each year, 4 years, they have a specific sporting event. Your country represents, a certain sport, whether that be basketball, swimming, baseball, whatever it is. They support the country, goes out there and supports their country, the best players of each sport per country, right? So Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, of course, were teammates on the 2008 Olympic team that won the gold medal in Beijing. There was a statement that was floating around that was presented in Mike Krzyzewski's book, who's the famous Duke Blue Devil head coach, one of the top coaches of all time in collegiate and NBA level. He has a new book called The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. And there was a statement that, threw a lot of people off last week pertaining to Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. Now, people who, play basketball, watch these two, you would think they have somewhat of a good relationship, a solid relationship, right? But there's always certain things behind the scenes that, are not revealed to the public until either they both retire or somebody, whatever, there's no real, and there's nothing really attached to the moment anymore. So that's when, certain things will be revealed later on. So there was a little bit of an incident where LeBron James was frustrated with Kobe Bryant. He also claimed that other teammates were a little bit annoyed with Kobe Bryant being selfish. Now, people that know Kobe Bryant know, he has had tendencies in the past to put up a lot of shots, sometimes take his teammates out the picture, out the motion of the offense. That's no denying that, right? LeBron James, over a timeout, got fed up with Kobe Bryant, selfishly taking shots that he felt he shouldn't have taken, that he told the coach in these words. I'm not going to say the cuss word. I'm just going to kind of bleep it out. But in frustration, LeBron James walked to the coach in a timeout and said, "Hey, coach, you need to fix that MFer. Hey, coach, you need to fix that MFer." So, of course, he was talking about Kobe Bryant, shot jacking, not passing the ball, not playing within the offense. He got annoyed with it and he told the coach. Okay. Coach K, Coach Krzyzewski, as we will call him, Coach K, took a point to, let Kobe know that, what, we got to address this right now. So he called a meeting to Kobe and said, "Hey, man, you taking invalidized shots that we didn't put in the offense, so you got to stop doing it. You got to actually move and have some motion with the ball." Now, I want you guys to pay attention to what Kobe said to Coach K after he told him that. He looked him in the eye and said, "Got you. No problem, coach. I won't do it again. Don't worry about it." So he took his criticism and took his punches and understood he was wrong, right? Keep that in mind. Fast forward a couple days later, the team is on the bus. The USA team's on the bus. All the players, Chris Paul, Carmelo, Michael Redd, Jason Kidd, all the guys on the bus, right? Darren Williams. LeBron James could be heard from one of the other coaches complaining about feeling like the team didn't need to be going to a meeting, I guess a meeting that they had scheduled for the team to go to. LeBron James felt that was kind of unnecessary to do. So you can hear him complaining according to one of the coaches. The word got back to Mike K after they got off the bus. He pulled LeBron James to the side and said, okay, look, you have to trust what we're doing here. We're not going to put you guys in a bad situation. So you have to understand basically what we're doing is the right thing. Pretty much telling LeBron, like, I'm the coach, you're the player, you listen to me. Okay. Now, here's how I'm going to break this down. I give that background for quite a few reasons. Kobe has had a notion throughout his entire career to be of an arrogant person. Before he passed. He had a tendency, people called him arrogant, people called him selfish, people called him not a team player, doesn't listen, things of that nature, right? So to be all that, you would think that Kobe Bryant wouldn't have took that criticism from Coach K and said, I understand what you're saying, I won't do it again. For him to take that criticism shows that he respected Coach K at a high degree. So he's not as much of an uncoachable person as people try to make him out to be. But on the other side with LeBron, who people for some reason say that he's so coachable and he's, always trying to make his teammates better. He doesn't, he's not selfish. But the criticism that he was given, he wasn't able to take it from Coach K the way Kobe did. Because in the book that they said about Coach K, that was probably the first time LeBron was ever talked to like that. Pretty much tell him that I'm the coach, you're the player, you're going to listen to me. It's no secret that LeBron James, wherever he has gone for the most part, has been the head honcho. He's been the guy who the basketball team runs through. Like, look at the Lakers right now. The moves that they made, a lot of them LeBron James endorsed. Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard. These guys are guys that LeBron wanted to bring in. Well, Rob Pelinka had other guys in mind. The only mistake he didn't put his foot down and stick with his plan. But I digress from that. There's a lot of gray smoke around this subject, and there's a lot of unclear things that we need to discuss and iron out. LeBron James, for him to go and call Kobe Bryant an MFer to his coach, but not address Kobe Bryant, the man himself, I got a problem with that. Like I said, we're not going to sugarcoat nothing here. We're going to keep it 100%. For you to go to your coach and tell him in those strong words, you better deal with that MFer, but you don't want to go to Kobe and tell him as your teammate, as a player that is well recognized in the league like LeBron James at the time in 2008, you can't go to your teammate and say, hey man, why are you taking these shots? Why are you taking us out the offense, man? If you play basketball, you understand as your teammate, they criticize each other all the time, especially if you guys are on the same level. So LeBron could have went to Kobe Bryant and told him his frustrations. I'm pretty sure Kobe Bryant would have listened. But the fact that he didn't do that, I just don't think that was right for LeBron James to do. Was he right saying that Kobe was outside of the offense? Yes. But he wasn't right how he handled it. And I feel like that's a deeper meaning to me that LeBron James has somewhat of a little bit of resentment towards Kobe Bryant. I'm going to get deep into this. Like I said, I don't feel LeBron James ever had a close relationship with Kobe. I feel like Kobe Bryant kept a distance from LeBron for a specific reason, because he understood that him and LeBron didn't speak the same language. Kobe Bryant, an intense competitor. LeBron James, more of the ease back type of competitor. I feel like LeBron James feels threatened by Kobe Bryant because of all the respect that he's gained throughout the league. For a guy like LeBron James to accomplish all he has accomplished, you would think he'd be more secure with himself. But I don't feel like he is. I feel like LeBron James has to make it a point to everybody to try to prove he's the best player, and he has to say that he's this and that, instead of just going out there and just letting his game speak for himself. He has a tendency to call himself the greatest player of all time. Like, if you're the greatest player of all time, you don't have to go and endorse that to the public, right? So I just think that counteracts into how LeBron's personality is. I make that point for a specific reason. the fact that Kobe Bryant took his criticism, LeBron didn't, shows that LeBron still has some immaturity issues at that time, and I feel like that doesn't get addressed enough. The media has done a great job, and LeBron's PR team has done a great job of trying to shape LeBron James's career. But that, to me, I just don't respect that. I don't think that's the right thing for LeBron to do. Somebody you claim that you were so cool with, and a guy that you looked up to so much, you didn't go to him as your friend, as your brother, as your teammate. You went to the coach and told him, deal with that MF. It wasn't like you went to the coach and said, hey, you might want to tell Kobe just to follow the game plan. You said it in like kind of like a aggressive, mean way, man. You said it in a way like you almost had some type of resentment towards him. And I feel like throughout his career, I think LeBron looked at Kobe as somebody like, you know what? The masculine energy that Kobe Bryant had, I think LeBron wished he had. I think LeBron James lacks some of that masculine energy. I think LeBron James lacks leadership qualities. I think LeBron James lacks that security that he saw Kobe Bryant had. You understand, with Kobe Bryant, no matter what you said about him, he was always true to who he was. He was all true to himself. He didn't care if you had spoke good things to him, bad things to him. He didn't let that affect him. Not saying LeBron James didn't come to the league with, hardships, because he definitely did. Like, you can make the case he arguably came with the most hardships any player all time. But I'm talking about pertaining to Kobe. I think LeBron looked at Kobe as, somebody he looked up to. He said it many times. And, I think he resented him. But the main reason I think he resented him was because of the relationship he had with Michael Jordan. LeBron James looked up to Michael Jordan as his hero, but he could never get close to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan really never welcomed in LeBron James the way he welcomed in Kobe Bryant. I think that kind of bothered LeBron, because he's like, I'm trying to prove to you, I'm just as I'm just as good as him, but you're not accepting me in. Jordan off the cuts accepted Kobe for what he was because of how his makeup was. A competitor, worked hard to get where he was at. Wasn't afraid of competition, had the warrior spirit. Michael Jordan respected Kobe since he'd been in the league, and everybody knew the relationship they had was deep. LeBron James, I feel like he wished he had that relationship with Michael Jordan, but he just doesn't have it. So I think, there was some resentment on LeBron James's part, and I think this story really proves it. I think for you not to go and tell your teammate something that you told the coach, and you say it in a way like that, that's a deeper meaning to me. And I think Kobe knew that. I think Kobe understood what LeBron James was from a distance. He still, and let me make this last point. Kobe knowing how LeBron James was to him, he still went out of his way to try to help him. When he first came to LA, when they were, tearing his murals down and, saying you'll never be Kobe, Kobe Bryant told his fan base, look, he's one of us now. You can accept him in. He didn't have to do that. He could have let LA just ate LeBron up and not said a word, but he chose to intervene and say, look, this is one of ours now. We can let him in. You guys can love him. You can also talk about the 2011 All-Star game when LeBron James was passing up the last-second shots. Like, at that time, LeBron was still looked at as a guy that didn't want to take the last-second shot. Now, of course, he got over that during his rest of his career, but for a while, LeBron was looked at as a guy who wouldn't take the last-second shot. Kobe Bryant, in a head-to-head matchup at the end of the game, was guarding LeBron James, and LeBron passed it off to, I think, Darren Williams, and Kobe Bryant was just looking at him just like, man, what are you doing? This is your time. Take what's yours. And he didn't even have to do that, bro. He could have just sat up there and just been like, this nigga, he's never going to get it. So he's went out of his way to try to help LeBron James. But LeBron James, secretly, has, kind of somewhat been resentful towards Kobe. Even though he's shooking hands with him, he's dapped him up. I just see, between the lines, I just see that, there's been a lot of backstabbing, I think, from LeBron. I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's a horrible person. I think he's a great father, great husband. But I think he does lack some security within himself. And then when somebody surpasses him or is close to surpassing him, he can't get over it. He has to somewhat pull you down to bring himself up. But that's what I'm gonna say about that. I hope you guys like my video. You know what I'm saying? Continue to like, share, subscribe to all of our YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swimwear.